Hello and welcome back to the Software Matrix here on Print Island. I am very, very excited today as I have Amy Bonner, who is the head of Printing AI from Printing United Alliance. Amy, what a title. First of all, welcome to the island.
Thank you.
Let's dive straight in. What is Printing AI?
Well, Printing AI is an AI adoption consultancy and training organization built specifically within the Printing United Alliance framework for the print and packaging industry. We help print companies put AI to work in a way that their business will actually, business actually operates, and not in a generic way that most AI training kind of teaches. So we've built a number of different service offerings, and we've been underway since October of last year. All right, so we're going to start talking about what's actually working, what's next, and how we all, from our tech providers, our printers, and partners like Printing AI, can shape what's coming. Okay, so let's dive in, and I'm going to start with something really simple. Tell us who you are, what your company does, and the problem you're solving for printers right now. Go ahead.
I'm Brad Kugler. Whoa, loud. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Direct Mail 2.0.
All right.
Excellent. I was just about to ask how long it's been operating for, but I'm guessing, you said October last year, I'm guessing It started after the inaugural AI Pavilion.
It did. Yes, that was our kind of launch of the team and all of the services that we offer. It was incredibly well accepted by the industry. We had a great expo, and I think people walked away understanding what Printing AI could offer. But obviously, there's still more education and opportunity to keep things in front of people as the AI space keeps changing about every hour. I say that jokingly, but it's true. It's every day something new comes out. So that's our job, is to make sure that the industry is educated. And that they're top of mind to us and how we can help them become AI native.
Excellent. And how does it operate? How does it run?
Yeah,
I know it's fairly new, so I guess
So we, in terms of how our service offerings are kind of delivered, we have a number of, as I mentioned before, we have different things that we offer. So there's, from the training perspective, we've built a series out around kind of AI essentials and helping people understand, foundational AI fluency within an organization, role-specific workflows, deploying agents in an environment. We often talk about sovereignty. That was one of the things at the pavilion that we really focused on, was teaching people that term AI sovereignty and how important that is, and how governance and other words and things that everyone hears apply to their organization. So when we have conversations with folks, we're trying to educate them on the next step and strategy and how important that is, and not just launching into different AI projects. We have paid webinar sessions. We have different partnerships with different organizations that help us walk people through this journey. We also, again, teach different things about the fluency of AI, and we're just trying to make sure that we have this kind of shared foundation that makes the training and the education that we're doing stick.
Excellent. I was going to ask you, what kind of problems or challenges does it solve for the print service providers? And I got a bit of an oversight of that at the pavilion last year. I didn't hear too much of generative AI or the marketing side. I heard more practicalities, more automation, integrating data flow. Is that kind of the vibe that you guys are running with?
Yeah, we started with more of the strategy and I'll say just kind of general consulting discussions. Printing AI is actually officially launching today. It's our kind of coming out party, if you will. And what we'd like to just kind of briefly talk about is some of the consulting services that we're going to be offering. If you want to visit me over at the little Printing AI pod there, feel free. We got people waving. But we're going to be offering a variety of services from readiness assessments to ERP assistance to actually AI system development, fractional leadership, cybersecurity. There's all kinds of things that we're going to be offering that kind of envelop, what a company is going to need to get into AI. But as, AI, generic AI is sort of failing at a lot of these organizations, unfortunately, because, they're not really, they haven't really prepared for what it means to apply AI in a print space. They're using tools that are just, again, generic, and that's okay. But as you think about things like Microsoft's free training that teaches you what buttons do, it doesn't really teach you how your estimator is going to quote a complex flexo job, or that your CSR handles, a color complaint from somebody without creating a liability. And so industry specificity is really the entire point of printing AI.
Excellent. And will that be the vibe at the Pavilion this year?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So what's different? What are the alternatives to this right now? Or are we at, this is more of a personal question, I would say. Are we more at like AI 101 for printers, or have we hit level 1 in 2025 and we're moving on to level 2 in 2026?
So we still have a lot of people that are at that 101 stage. We had launched in Q1 this year a AI readiness benchmark, and it was something that was offered free to the industry, and people could go on, take this benchmarking sort of quiz or questionnaire, and they would, the result would end up putting them into a category. So it was either early stages of things, and then there were those that were sort of emerging into kind of either experimenting, or they maybe already had some initiatives internally, and then there were those that were really building things out, and that was a category that really represented a small portion of the industry. The majority of the people were still kind of just trying to figure things out. So what makes printing AI different is there's 3 things. There's industry depth, so building things from real print operations, a 3-tier product architect approach here. So we've got foundational all the way through agentic, and the people delivering it come from industry. So I clearly don't have as many years in this space as a lot of people do. I've spent most of my time in technology, but I've at least been in the print space since 2018. I was a CIO of a print company here in Michigan, and but in my case, I've been in a B2B technology transformation world for almost 30 years now. So, one of the things that we have made sure of is that we don't talk about AI as theory. It's really about, operational experience. So I hope that answers your question about moving from foundational through agentic. That this new 3-tier structure that we've launched is going to be, is going to take people from tell me how to get started, and then let's apply that to an actual, agentic solution in a very short period of time.
Those kind of practical answers and
exactly
approach is so important. There's so much rubbish out there right now from, self-proclaimed consultants,
exactly.
AI consultants. So that's really, really refreshing. Do you have any interesting facts or anything you pick up from any of your white papers or anything?
The print industry has a significant, and we all know about this, the documented labor shortage. So shops that have had positions open that they can't fill for many, many years, CSRs, estimators, press operators, that enterprise tier of our training that I mentioned directly addresses this. So AI agents filling or maybe augmenting roles that companies can't hire for is not a future concept. It's an immediate operational need. And most of the print and packaging organizations, I would say 98% of companies are running Microsoft 365. And they may or may not have Copilot licenses. And if they do, they're dramatically underutilizing them because the tool is, really only as valuable as the workflows you apply to it. So in a print shop, those workflows are highly specialized, and nobody outside of the industry has built anything for them except for printing AI. So when you think about a fact, like, some of the things that we're hearing is like less than 1 hour of your team's time is wasted on, tasks AI could handle. And that's what this training costs. The ROI starts in week 1. So that's a really, really cool thing that we've been able to sort of prove out.
Let's park Printing United 2026 in Las Vegas in September this year, slightly earlier than normal. Let's talk about how we can get involved with Printing AI and yourself. What are the entry points?
The immediate goal right now is to launch a training series and establish Printing AI as the recognized authority on AI adoption in print and packaging. So as the organization and the industry turn to things that may be considered hype, we want to move them beyond just the hype. Beyond training, the enterprise tier opens a consulting and professional services lane, helping companies architect, deploy, and govern their own agents. That's the highest value for us, and potentially the longest kind of duration engagements for us. And then longer term, we're going to build out specific AI assets and prompt libraries and workflow templates and agent frameworks and all of that, so that the industry can start to use those as a reference and, really think of AI as an operating system for print and packaging companies. That's where we're headed in 26.
Excellent, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Software Matrix. And we look forward to talking to you more in the future about the amazing work at Printing AI and the AI Pavilion this September in Las Vegas.
Awesome. Thank you.